and they're tying the buoy to the anchor so that he can dive the same spot every time where we think the phone is. We think the phone's there because on the GPS tracker it shows where we've been, and it shows that we've been there a lot and just like circling around there a lot.
I feel like it's much colder than it was yesterday. Well, it is much colder.
Wish me luck.
Good luck.
Good luck. Good luck.
Hopefully you won't need it.
First dive. But it's darker. It's darker. Yeah, it is.
Woo!
Anything?
Not yet.
How many dives do you think he's done so far?
I haven't been counting up and doing the air punch.
I'd say he's maybe done 7.
You think?
Yeah.
I'm warm right here.
Yeah, the sun is warm. The wind is cold.
No, I hate the wind.
Yeah, the wind is really cold.
So we go. Oh, that's so nice.
You saw when wetness?
Yeah, I didn't think that was fun.
It's really wet this morning.
He can't use his arms to dive either because he has to pop his ears. Or I guess he can use one arm.
Yeah.
You have to pop your ears like every 3 feet.
I knew it! God is good. God is so good.
Yes! Yeah!
Oh.
That is awesome!
Mama, you said something about it.
How good is God? I knew it. I knew it. I felt it. I knew it. That's why I got the camera. Oh.
Oh, yes! Now we can call that guy.
That time, I was right there. It came out of its case.
The case was next to
It's
it.
on right now, it looks like.
I mean, they were both laying there.
Is it on?
No.
Okay, good.
Yeah, it works.
What?
Oh my gosh.
No way.
No, but we should power it off and let it dry out.
I can't believe that.
That's crazy.
Oh, yes.
I can.
But we need to call that guy. Oh, yes, bro.
Good job.
Oh, I can't believe it.
I can.
I can believe it too.
Good thinking, Jan.
Amazing.
Yes, thank you. Yeah.
Amazing.
I did nothing.
Yes, you did. You
I
thought
did-
of the GPS.
You
One
came up with
percent.
the solution.
Yes.
Good job.
Wow, man.
Oh, God. Yes.
Was it far from the?
It was right over here. There was,
Oh, the other one is in my pocket.
There's ways.
At least you still have a credit card.
Oh, we have all of them.
Thank you,
You
Jan.
have the credit card. You have
Yeah,
everything.
we have everything.
And it's still working.
It still
but you
works.
should power it off.
So that was very hard, actually. Last night when I was diving, I was already a little bit cold because we had been surfing for some time without wetsuits, and it's pretty cold. It's like 60-something degrees. And it was late in the evening, so I was pretty cold, and then we came back, the phone fell in the water, and I immediately started diving for as long as I could possibly go. The sun started to set, so it was getting darker and darker, and I started shaking hard, so I had to stop. It was too cold, I had to give up. I felt like a quitter, but I did have to stop. So last night I just lay in bed thinking about how I could do things better, and I came up with the idea if we could use the Find Your Phone feature, then that, you know, I could set a buoy over it and then do circular passes around the buoy until I found it. But we woke up in the morning and did our best to find to see if that would work, but her phone didn't update her location, so that didn't work. So then we thought maybe we'd call somebody to see if we could rent some scuba gear, and no one rented scuba gear, but there was a diver that was willing to come out, and it would have cost $240 for the first half hour, and then another 50 euro, not dollars but euros, and then another 50 euro every half hour after that. And they expressed a lot of skepticism about whether or not they'd be able to find it. They were very doubtful. And rightly so. The boat had moved a lot during the night. We're swinging on our anchor, maybe 60 degrees, and we had about 30 meters of chain out. So there was a lot of area to cover, and so I was skeptical as well, without knowing the exact location of where we were. So we decided not to bring them out. And then our skipper Jan, he looked at our chart and he realized that we had a GPS trace on where we had been during the night on anchor. And so we saw this area where we thought the boat was when the phone fell in the water. I'm really cold, that's why I'm shaking right now. But so we took the big boat back to that spot, and I threw in the little dinghy anchor with a buoy on it to mark it. And then I started diving this morning again, trying to find it. Last night I probably dove maybe 20 dives or so, I don't know, maybe more. And then so today I figured I'd give it another 20 dives or so. It was a little less deep today. It wasn't any brighter, I don't think. But anyway, so I did a number of dives, maybe 12 dives or so, and wasn't finding it. I thought I would find it, but this whole time I keep, every dive I go down, I suspect that I was gonna find it. But after a while, I was getting doubtful of whether I was gonna find this or not. And then I probably had a few more dives in me, but I went down on this last dive, and as soon as I got to the bottom, it was right in front of my face, and I couldn't believe it. So I grabbed it and came to the surface with it above my head so that they saw the phone before me, and I was triumphant. I can't believe it. Truly, it was unbelievable that we found it. When I think about it's remarkable, because I could only see a few feet in front of my face, and I only had a vague idea where it was, and I could only stay down for a short period of time. And it was cold, I was freezing, and only had a certain amount of time to do it. But it worked out. I can't believe it. Truly a miracle that it happened, that we found it. And the phone was still working after all that, which is unbelievable. So I feel pretty lucky. With the Gennaker, the apparent wind speed is about 20. So it's like the maximum. She doesn't want to. You having fun with it? Go Genevieve! Woo! Go baby! Go baby!
These are the best waves in the world!
Yeah, boy! Oh, yeah, check it out, check it out, check it out. Woo!
After the stress of losing the phone and then recovering it, only to have it work for a few minutes and then shut off to never turn on again, it was really nice to be able to just relax and enjoy the surf. Unfortunately, in our family, rest and calm are very short-lived. While Chris was filming us playing on the paddleboard, he was using the Insta360 camera. I asked at least 4 times, "Are you sure you shouldn't put on the flotation strap?" And every time he replied, "I'm not going to drop it, I'm not going to drop it." Well, he dropped it, and the rest of the afternoon was spent searching for the Insta360. Genevieve and I watched from the catamaran as they searched for hours. Thankfully, the tide was going out, so the water was getting more and more shallow. But the longer it took, the less hope they had of finding it. At one point, I walked over to the side of the boat and watched as they all grouped together looking in one location. And I remember just praying that they would find it, that somebody would remember a spot or a location would be brought into their mind, and that they would just trust that prompting and go where the spot was. As soon as I finished my prayer, I saw a figure leave the group and confidently walk about 20 yards away. I then heard shouts of joy as the camera was lifted into the air. Prayer truly is an amazing thing.
You know, you like this spot? Did you have fun? Yeah, it's kind of cool, huh? What you got cooking?
Whatever is left. Tomorrow's our last day, and so we're just
Trying to cook it all down.
Where are the dogs?
in the yellow one. Where are they?
Dad, are we going on the dinghy?
This is so cold.
Why?
That's it. I'm not doing it.
Dad, why don't we go on it?
Not doing it. There's no way.
Yeah.
Dad, why
What
don't
if I
we
do
go on
it?
the dinghy?
Then you do it. And you won't?
Salmon's historically been the least brave when it comes to water.
Especially cold water.
That's what I mean.
It's not that I don't want to, or it's not that I'm too scared to do it. I just don't. It's just, actually, I'll do it.
I gotta show these little kids how to do this.
Yeah, I dip my toes in. It's not that.
Dang. Is this going for it?
No, I'm not.
Let's just jump in on the lower part.
Yeah.
And then we'll come back up.
Okay, hold my shirt.
Let's jump in on the lower part and then come back up.
What? Why?
How cold is it
It's
in
like-
Dale's house?
46.
46?
Yeah.
How cold is it in Twist?
45.
It's 66
Yeah.
here. It's like a bath.
Oh, I'm getting in. So watch out.
No, you're not. You won't, you won't, you won't.
He will, he will, he will.
Okay, that's my turn.
You won't.
I will. I will. Maybe not right now, though.
Woo! Okay, here we go.
Now I gotta float down. Simon says this.
Simon says fold your arms. Oh. Simon says fold your arms. Simon says laugh. Okay, Simon says clap your hands.
So we just got back from our trip, and my favorite thing that we did on the trip is we got some surfboards and we got a surf law, and it was really fun. The water was pretty cold, but it wasn't too cold. It was like 60 degrees, and we got to surf a
65
lot.
degrees.
And we were cold for a lot of it, but we just stayed in anyways because we loved surfing.
My favorite part was surfing. It was really fun.
My favorite part was just exploring. My favorite part was probably sailing.
I was surprised on how difficult it was to put the anchor down. I thought it was going to be easier and that you could just like put a bunch of chain down, but you had to like measure everything out, so I didn't know that you had to do that.
The hardest thing was probably being hungry. It was really hard to be hungry because we didn't have very much food, and so we were hungry all the time. Genevieve, your turn. She's
The hardest thing was Genevieve not sleeping when she was supposed to, and yeah. Okay, here we go.
That's what I was gonna say, Mom.
Okay, you can say it too.
I think one of the hardest things was trying to find like the phones and stuff, because when Dad had dropped the 360 camera, it was really hard to find it because there was a lot of rocks, and it was really hard to do it, but thankfully the tide was with us on that, so that made it easier, but that was still really hard.
Well, the hardest part to me was probably Jenny screaming all the time and putting her to sleep in the floor peak. It wasn't that fun.
For me, the very hardest part was trying to manage everybody's emotions. With so many kids and so many people in such a tight space for so long, it was, some tension started to arise sometimes, and they wanted to fight here and there, and it was just hard to keep everyone happy and calm and getting along. I think the key to that was making sure everyone had a job and kept busy. And this was just a week, so I think it was good practice for what we're about to do. But it wasn't easy, even just for a week. It was worth it because we all had a lot of fun, but it certainly wasn't easy. The other hardest part, I'd say, was keeping Genevieve alive. She really wanted to die on this trip. Someone had to be with her at all times. Someone always had to be right next to her, just to keep her from falling over, if nothing else. But she would have fallen off the boat several times had we not been right there to help her. So our boat will be a little bit better because we have nets going along the lifelines all the way around the front, back, and on the sides, so that will help, so she doesn't fall through the lifelines. But it's still hard for her to walk. She did get pretty good by the end of holding on, and just her balance on the ocean got a lot better, but it was definitely difficult. The very best part for me was finally getting to do it. So we've been dreaming of this and planning this for so long. We always knew it was going to be hard. We always thought it was going to be worth it, but we never knew. Because we've never taken the whole family out for very long on a boat. And it was great to see that we can do it and we can have a good time doing it.
Best part for me was not throwing up or not even being motion sick at all. Like, it was so easy, and I was really shocked by that. We had beautiful weather, and I think that attributed a lot to it. We had beautiful weather, calm seas. It was just easy sailing, and I think that was a really nice way to get me hooked, because it was awesome. I loved being on the water. I loved everything about it except for being cold. I was cold quite a bit, so that was unfortunate, but really it was beautiful. And I think that moving forward onto our boat, it set a really nice tone for how much we loved being on the boat. It was difficult with the food, and but we didn't have any idea what to expect, what we were doing. But now we've done it, and we were hungry, but we did have some good meals. We had a couple not so good meals, and so now we will just use this next bit of time to really figure out what we're going to need and how we're going to do it.
So overall, we had a fantastic time on the charter, and I think a lot of that is due to our skipper.
Oh yeah,
Jan.
Sure.
He was just great. He was so kind. He was so patient with the kids.
Yes.
And he was funny. They loved Jan. We loved Jan.
He was amazing. Great. We couldn't have asked for a better experience. Like I said, I was really nervous about the whole sailing experience, and it was so easy being with him. Like, he made you feel so comfortable and, I don't know, at ease, I guess, on the ocean, knowing like we were in very capable hands.
When we had problems, like dropping the phone in the ocean, he was very patient with us and helped us in every way he could so that we could recover it. It really was a miracle that we got that phone back, and as well as the camera that we dropped. But he helped us in both of those situations, and he took the kids on dinghy rides. They got to do a little surfing behind the dinghy rides. He took them to surf spots, so they jumped out and got to surf. He was just great.
Yep.
Fantastic having him.
Thank you so much, Jan.
Yep. What do you guys
Thanks,
want to
Jan.
say?
Thank you, Jan.
You're awesome. Merci.
Yeah.
Jan.
Merci beaucoup.
Hello. How are you doing today? Oh, right. That's what it's supposed to be. And hello. Now we're on a boat. And we're leaving today. And we are renting a car. I don't know where our car is, but whatever. I guess somebody knows. See you later.